Hi, this is Melanie for the Pardesi channel. I'm here to do a review of a Tamil film called Maanagaram. Maanagaram means metropolis or big city, and it's a hyperlink movie. So what that means is you have several interconnecting stories, which at the beginning, no one seems to have anything to do with anyone else. And the way it's edited, you go from one story to the next. Like someone may pass someone on the street, and then we follow someone else's story. So one of the best examples of this is in the Malayalam film Traffic, but I would argue this film, Maanagaram, is much better than Traffic, or at least it was to me, although Traffic did have some amazing chase sequences in the end. Similar Hollywood films would be like Babel or Crash. So you have several stories going on. You don't get in depth into any particular one story, but you kind of, this one is about Chennai. It's about everyone's experiences in the big city of Chennai. The script of this movie was amazing. So everyone, when I had done my top 10, they were like, where is this film? Which only came out in the spring. It is available now that Amazon Prime has rejiggered their lineup and has so many Indian films. That's where I watched it. So I don't know if it's available worldwide, but at least in the US, you can watch it if you have Amazon Prime. Lokesh Kanagaraj is the director. And this was his debut feature film. I cannot wait to see what else this young man is going to do, because wow, to pull this off for your debut film, such a good movie, such a good script, so tightly written, love it. It has such moments of humor, there's moments of real tension, there's moments of drama. I really, and it's just so entertaining. I really enjoyed your film, Lokesh. One interesting thing is you don't learn anyone's name in the film. I think there's only 2 characters that I can think of that we learn their name. Certainly not the main 3 characters. So the main 3 characters, the first one, the actor's name is Shri, and he plays a young job applicant. He's from some smaller village, and he's come to the big city trying to get a job. And then Regina Cassandra plays the human resources officer who's interviewing him. And then she has a relationship, kind of like an on-again, off-again, with a kind of a rough character that she went to college with, and he's played by Sundeep Kishan. Woo! Yeah. Anyway, so most of these characters are all in some of the beginning moments of the films in a bar together. So everyone is in a bar together, but they're not interacting at that point, have no interaction. And then we get flashbacks as we get all sorts of things. There's so many mistaken identities. Somebody beats up somebody just because they have a red checked shirt. Well, there was 3 people at that bar that have a red checked shirt. So it could have been, your mouth is in your throat is like, which guy is going to get beat up? And then what happens? And I think the standout actor for me was Sundeep. He just has this screen presence and charisma about him that just commands you whenever he was on screen. I don't believe I have seen him in anything else, but I'm very excited because I just did a reaction before I saw this film. I just did a reaction to Manasuku Nachindi, and I know I did a reaction to Naraga Suran. So he's got 2 films coming out pretty soon, romantic lead kind of roles, so I'm very excited. I don't want to spoil really much that happens in the film, but there's one really fun part where there's lots of mistaken identity, and there's gangsters and thugs, and at one point there's a kidnapping and I just thought this was brilliant. They have this kind of bumbling guy who's just joined a gang and he's trying to prove himself. This kind of bumbling crook goes to a school and he's going to kidnap a little kid. So he goes in and so the teacher says, well, Kartik's 5 kids stand up. I just thought that was brilliant, that there was 5 kids named Kartik. But that was hilarious. And just all the things that happen and from that moment, just delicious. Delicious how things happen and how people make connections. So a lot of it is, you know, you're like the kid who was the job applicant. He is not sure he gets such a rough start getting beat up and whatever at the beginning of the film that he's not sure that this is his town. Is he going to make it here? Does he want to be in Chennai? And I loved how his character arc, how he just gets this resolve and toughness by the end of the film, like, yeah, I'm going to make it here. And how he has made friendships and he's just, that was great. But like Sundeep's relationship, his character's relationship with the young woman who was the HR officer is maybe the weakest point in the film, the romantic storyline. I mean, there's not enough time in hyperlink film to really go deeply into anyone's story. But I did think that was kind of the weakest link. But he was still so charismatic. The things that he was doing that you thought, oh my God, this guy is like a ruffian. He's really tough. And then you realize he's all doing these things out of his love for this girl. He just totally sold me on everything that he was doing. And even though he was acting like kind of a, you know, rough guy, you could tell he had a heart of gold. He kind of reminded me of Mahesh Babu when he played young men roles like that. That's what came to mind. The charisma on the screen, and just also, even if he's acting rough and doing things that seem like a rowdy would do, you're still with him. You're still sympathetic, and yeah, because he does some pretty extreme things. I cannot wait to see this guy in some other films because I thought he was the standout performer of the film. Everyone was pretty good. And then there was this character actor who I think has been, I looked him up, he's been in like 600 films or something crazy. His name is Charlie. He was named after Charlie Chaplin. I love that little detail. He plays an auto driver who's also just moved to Chennai, and he's trying to make it as a kind of a taxi driver, but he has no idea where he's going, which leads to some of the plot things of getting lost and then running into other characters because he's trying to drive somebody home and he has no idea where he is. He has no idea where he's going. Highly, highly, highly recommend this film. It's really one of the top films that I have, Tamil films that I have seen. It's one of the top films of the year, so I can understand why people were upset with me that I had not included it in a top 10 list. It would definitely be in my top 5 of 2017 Tamil films. It's really a strong script, and what a debut for this director. I cannot wait to see what this guy is going to do next. This was fantastic. Such a good script. And so confidently edited and directed that I can't wait to see what opportunities he's going to have next. The rumors that I saw is that Karti might sign on with him for his next film. There wasn't anything that I could see, at least in the English language press, that let me know what it might be about. But if you have read anything about what Lokesh's next film might be, or if anyone has actually signed on to it, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Please like this video, this review, share it. I would love for you to share it on WhatsApp or Facebook and help spread the word about the Pardesi channel. Subscribe here and press the bell, and then you'll get a notification whenever I do a new trailer reaction or review. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Pardesi YT.